Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 563. Chapter Chinmu's Life and Death book had been seized from the hands of Shaman God Kui, and those who knew it now rested in his grasp were Xing'an, Pangongso, as well as the demon monks of Thunderclap Monastery. Shaman God Kui ought to have been a heavenly official or earthly official, a divine sovereign who governed wandering souls between realms. It was unlikely that such a sacred artifact had been forged by his own hand. More likely, it had been bestowed upon him from higher powers. Within the celestial heavens, treasures of this nature were scarce, each bound to an owner by fate. Thus, Elder Messenger of Death was certain that Chinmu's trail would soon be uncovered, for to track the whereabouts of the Life and Death book was far simpler than to track the elusive Chinmu himself. The name inscribed upon the Life and Death book just now was Jue Huang. Chinmu lifted the yellow talisman, revealing half his countenance beneath its eerie glow. What manner of god is Jue Huang? He is a deity of the Yellow Springs. Elder Messenger of Death replied in a low, measured tone. With a single breath drawn or expelled, floods surge across worlds, harvesting countless souls. He is one of the 4 great commanders stationed by the celestial heavens within Yudu. He is not the only one seeking you. The other 3 are Xuan Ming, who governs souls, Han Lei, who controls fate, and Lu Li, who oversees the prisons. You should never have revealed the Life and Death book. With it exposed, they will not struggle to find you. Chinmu's expression turned grave. After a moment of silence, his brows knit together as he spoke uneasily. If I were to hand the Life and Death book to Grandmaster or Xing'an, shifting the burden onto them, then I might remain hidden. Elder Messenger of Death fixed him with a long stare. You are but 18 years of age. Your schemes might ensnare youths of your generation, but the 2 you speak of are far beyond such petty tricks. Even if you succeeded, once the 4 great commanders claimed their souls, they would see through your deception. It is not so simple to drag others into your calamity. Bah! Why am I aiding you in such crooked thoughts? Chinmu released the talisman, letting it fall to cover his face once more. His cheeks reddened slightly as he said, "A righteous cause gathers support, while an unrighteous one stands alone. Official sovereign must have seen sincerity in me, thus offering such counsel. Since sabotage is unfeasible, tell me, can these 4 gods leave Yudu and step into Supreme Emperor Heaven or eternal peace?" The small boat drifted steadily toward Supreme Emperor Heaven, gliding through the void like a ghost upon still waters. Elder Messenger of Death hung his lantern upon the pole and sat down calmly. Their power is too immense. Entering other realms is no simple matter. Yet they will seek methods to capture you. Once you cultivate to the Life and Death realm and open your divine treasure, they may enter through it once they locate you. Chinmu shuddered. To enter through his Life and Death divine treasure? Would that not place every practitioner of the Life and Death realm in grave peril? However, Elder Messenger of Death continued, Yudu abides by its own laws. To intrude into another's life and death divine treasure and seize their life violates those laws. They will not act so easily. Having already revealed much, he chose to speak further. Even if their true bodies cannot depart, they may dispatch disciples into Supreme Emperor Heaven or eternal peace. They may also manipulate others, turning them into blades to end your life. Or when Supreme Emperor Heaven is sacrificed by the devils to bridge their world with eternal peace, the barrier between realms will collapse. At that time, they may enter eternal peace freely. Chinmu exhaled and smiled faintly. To kill me is no simple feat, nor is it easy to breach Supreme Emperor Heaven. It has endured 20,000 years. With the support of Eternal Peace Empire and endless reinforcements, it will endure another 20,000. Elder Messenger of Death sneered. You underestimate the devils. How long Supreme Emperor Heaven will last is uncertain. We have arrived. Remove the talisman and return. Chinmu glanced ahead and saw that they had already reached the battlefield from before. It was precisely the place from which he had been taken. Without hesitation, he leapt from the boat. Return my yellow talisman! Elder Messenger of Death shouted. Yet Chinmu fled like a thief discovered in the act, the talisman still clinging to his face. Damn it! Elder Messenger of Death fumed as he watched Chinmu's retreating figure. Just as he prepared to give chase, he halted and suddenly burst into laughter. It is but a yellow talisman. I shall gift it to him, lest he cause further trouble." The small boat turned and vanished into the abyssal darkness. Chinmu ran for over 10 miles before daring to look back. Only after confirming that Elder Messenger of Death had truly abandoned pursuit did he release a breath of relief. He removed the talisman and examined it carefully before storing it away. "This yellow talisman is a treasure indeed. Even gods and devils cannot discern my identity while it covers my face. At least this journey to Yudu was not without gain." He lifted his gaze and froze slightly. In the distance, flying ships sailed toward Lee City, no more than several hundred miles away. Their pill furnaces burned brilliantly, sustaining their flight through the heavens. I remained in Yudu for no less than 6 hours. Yet these ships have only advanced several hundred miles? By their speed, they should have traveled thousands. It seems only 15 minutes have passed. Chinmu surged forward with full strength, catching up first with the ground troops, then swiftly overtaking the fleet. He ascended onto the main ship. Eternal Peace Imperial Preceptor and the Black Tiger God were locked in tense silence, their expressions filled with shock. The surrounding crowd was equally stunned, still discussing Chinmu's abduction by the Messenger of Death and his uncertain fate. At that moment, Chinmu emerged from behind them. "I have returned. How long was I gone?" he asked with a smile. "Not even an hour," Sanghua stammered, eyes wide. "You were taken into Yudu and returned so quickly?" "The Messenger of Death is the sovereign official of Yudu. He brought me to another realm and found a divine bridge realm expert named Han Zhen. He declared that Han Zhen's soul would be reaped in 3 days. Then he led me to Earth Count, who spoke of karma and consequence. Earth Count said he would deal with me after my death, then sent me away. Along the journey, we encountered gods and devils who sought to seize me." Chinmu recounted everything, finding it strange himself that so much had occurred in so little time. In the mortal world, such events would have required 3 to 5 days. In Yudu, time flowed differently, and in the world of the living, even less had passed. "Yudu is like a dream," Eternal Peace Imperial Preceptor said, his eyes flashing. "Your journey there is akin to a dream. As long as you returned alive, nothing else matters. Is Earth Count truly terrifying?" Chinmu shook his head. "Earth Count is quite easy to converse with. The same applies to the Messenger of Death." Everyone's expressions grew peculiar. Earth Count and the Messenger of Death? Easy to talk to? Only Chinmu would dare utter such words. Even gods and devils changed demeanor when speaking of Earth Count. As for the Messengers of Death, none dared speak of them openly. "Maha!" The young dragon coiled around Chinyu, slid down swiftly and rushed toward Chinmu, nuzzling against him affectionately. Chinyu felt a pang of resentment. I have not even felt its warmth, yet it has already been drawn to him again. Chinmu stroked the little dragon and placed it upon his shoulder, its whiskers swaying gently in the air. Jealousy took root within Chinyu's heart. "Junior brother Chin, lend me your little dragon for a time. I may even take it to the great ruins. When I return, you shall surely be astonished," Chinmu said with a smile. "I was captured by Furiluo and nearly lost my life. After this journey through Yudu, I am truly exhausted. I shall rest." Chinyu watched as Chinmu carried the little dragon away, thinking bitterly. After a few days, will it still belong to me? Its heart has already been stolen. Elder Messenger of Death returned to the manor of benevolent saintly king, equal to heaven, and opened a thick tome, the very book he had presented to the Magma Earth Count. Chinmu had desired to read it, but Earth Count's towering form made it impossible. Moreover, he had to remain obedient, and thus never glimpsed its contents. Turning to the first page, images flowed like living shadows. A barren, dark land stretched endlessly. Upon it, a pregnant woman was giving birth. Boundless devil chi and grievances of shattered souls surged violently toward the small birthing chamber. It was as though a terrifying devil king lay within, devouring the wicked essence of Yudu like a whale swallowing oceans. Beyond that land, countless devil gods lurked in the darkness, their gazes fixed upon the first life form ever born from a womb in Yudu's history. "The descent of the Son of God," a devil god whispered from the corner of the page. Above the chamber, scarlet eyes opened in the heavens. 1, 2, no, 3. Elder Messenger of Death turned the page. A plump infant leapt from the mother's embrace. His 3 eyes shone with terrifying brilliance. He wreaked havoc upon the dark land, clutching 2 devil gods in his tiny fists. His 3 eyes opened, releasing beams that scorched the earth, annihilating countless monsters. Ghosts of all sizes fled in terror, even Ghost Kings abandoning all dignity as they escaped. Their twisted faces were filled with fear, creating a scene of utter chaos. The infant bit into a devil god, tearing away half its head in a gruesome feast. Elder Messenger of Death shook his head and continued. Page after page revealed the infant's terrifying growth. Having devoured countless souls and consumed 2 devil gods, he became enormous, his ferocious visage instilling dread in all who beheld him. He crushed layer after layer of hell, slaughtering every devil god that pursued his mother and clan. Yet within him lurked a boundless evil nature. It mattered not whether those before him were enemies or mere inhabitants. He slaughtered and devoured them all without distinction. In one scene, the mother gazed upon him, her face filled with fear. Fear not of the world, but of her own son. Another page revealed the infant standing upon a colossal devil dragon, slicing open its belly. His 3 eyes gleamed with ruthless intent. And yet, when the slaughter ended, he shrank back into a small child, reaching out to his mother for an embrace. The pages turned. The infant crushed wave after wave of pursuing devil gods, his massacres alarming the hidden powers of Yudu. They united against him, battling until heaven and earth seemed to tear apart. Near the end, the infant, now grown, stood at the border of Yudu. His massive scarlet eyes gazed eagerly into the world of the living. On another side of the page, the great powers of Yudu conversed with Earthcount. The mother pleaded before him. Earthcount broke a fragment of jade from his horn and refined it into a pendant. The mother, holding back tears, watched as he sealed it with divine power. She then placed it around her son's neck. The raging devil nature within him was suppressed along with his divine nature. His body returned to that of an ordinary infant, small and fragile. Wrapped in swaddling clothes, he waved his limbs and babbled innocently, even sucking on his toe. The mother lifted him, kissing him tenderly before placing him into a basket. A woman took him away upon a paper boat, drifting into the distance. Behind them, ghost kings, spirits, and faintly visible devil gods beat drums and gongs in celebration of his departure. Elder Messenger of Death turned to the final page. Qin Mu stood within an ominous land, long hair flowing. With sword raised, he cast a spell, opening the gate of heaven influence to summon souls from the realm of the dead. At that moment, the jade pendant upon his neck floated upward. 18 years. Elder Messenger of Death closed the book and stored it carefully. He exhaled deeply. It is impossible to discern what this brat once was. I only pray that his devil nature never awakens again. Fortunately, Earthcount sealed him and exiled him to the mortal world. Otherwise, what would Yudu have become today? Yet if he had remained in Yudu, he would likely not have lived to see 18 years. Earthcount would have devoured him long ago for his countless sins. Amid the lingering shadows of Qin Fengqing's incident, there remained a single point of suspicion that refused to dissipate, like a lingering wisp of yin qi in the depths of Yudu. Earthcount had personally sealed him. By all logic of heaven and earth, all of his divine treasures should have been suppressed utterly, rendering him incapable of cultivation, incapable even of opening the gates of those treasures, let alone stepping onto the path of a practitioner of divine arts. The elder messenger of death paced back and forth, his robes whispering like restless spirits as his thoughts churned. He should have been reduced to a mere mortal, he murmured inwardly, a body destined to wither and decay within a mere 100 years. Yet how did he manage to open his divine treasures? When Earthcount sealed Qin Mu, he had bound not only his devil nature and his memories, but also his god nature. In that solemn act, his voice, heavy with the authority of the underworld, had inadvertently formed a seal upon Qin Mu's divine treasures. It had not been deliberate. It was merely a consequence, an echo of power that spread from the sealing of his god and devil nature. The seal had not been meant to be so absolute, so suffocating. Yet in the end, it severed his path of cultivation completely. Within Qin Mu's body, neither god nor devil nature remained active. Every divine treasure, be it aligned with gods or devils, was sealed shut, their gates barred forever. Cultivation should have been impossible. advancement an unreachable dream. After returning to the world of the living, he should have lived as an ordinary man, drifting through a mundane life until time claimed him. And yet, his divine treasures had opened. Worse still, his cultivation had surged forward at an astonishing pace. He had not only opened the 7 stars divine treasure, but had also fused 7 stars with 6 directions into a singular unity. At the beginning, it was his divine path that broke through. But now, even his devil path advanced, as though guided by the unseen hand of a god. It was utterly bizarre. The opening of the spirit embryo divine treasure required one's own strength alone. No external force could assist in that breakthrough. Thus, he must have relied solely upon himself. And yet, the seal placed upon him was 100-fold more formidable than that faced by ordinary cultivators. Whenever he attempted to shatter the spirit embryo wall, Earth Count's seal would stir, and the 9 heavens God language would descend from above, resounding like heavenly judgment. And if he sought to open the spirit embryo divine treasure along the devil path, the response would be the Udu devil language, echoing from the abyss. The elder messenger of death could not find an answer, no matter how deeply he pondered. He was not omniscient, nor could he return to that fateful night when Chin-Mu had consumed the blood of the 4 spirits. He did not know. That on that very night, within the flickering firelight of disabled elderly village, there had sat an old man with severed limbs, his frail body like a broken staff. Surrounded by those strange and fearsome villagers, he had spoken a single sentence. "I suspect that Mu'er possesses another kind of constitution," he had said, his voice steady despite his condition. "One that unites the strengths of the 4 great constitutions, an overlord body." From that single utterance, a legend was born. The impossible was made possible. The villagers searched tirelessly, gathering more of the 4 spirits' blood, urging Chin-Mu to consume as much as he could. The youth himself trained with relentless fervor, driven by an unwavering belief. He was the overlord body, the strongest spirit body beneath heaven. If he could not open his divine treasures, then it could only mean he was unworthy of that title. He had not worked hard enough. Thus, with unyielding determination, he wore down the seal placed by Earth Count bit by bit. He learned the languages of gods and devils alike, and at the fleeting moment when God language, devil language, and even the echoes of Buddha language intersected, he shattered the barrier. His spirit embryo divine treasure burst open. From that moment onward, his path stretched bright and boundless before him. Though Earth Count's seal remained, and his god and devil nature were still bound, the belief that surged from his frail body had grown far beyond what Earth Count, or any of the great beings of Udu, could have foreseen. Thus began the tale of a legend, all from a single white lie spoken beside a bonfire. Besides that, the elder messenger of death muttered, his thoughts shifting once more. There is also that strange incident when he was exiled from Udu and abandoned in the great ruins. What truly transpired back then? He closed his eyes, standing still for a long moment. When he opened them again, his gaze was cold and resolute. From his sleeve, he withdrew Udu's life and death book. What happened must be connected. I must find that woman who carried him away. If she yet lives, her name will remain within this book. If she has perished, her soul must have returned to Udu. He flipped through the pages, each name flickering like a ghostly imprint. Gradually, his expression darkened. Her name was gone. There were only 2 explanations. Either her soul had scattered into nothingness, like that of the 7 Kills Star Sovereign, vanished beyond even the reach of the underworld, or her soul had drifted to Fengdu, or some other realm akin to Udu. What did she experience? He whispered. With a sigh, he closed the life and death book. His figure trembled slightly, then split into multiple forms, each stepping onto a boat that drifted away into the darkness. "The little overlord of Udu," he murmured, a faint trace of fondness in his voice. "He is far more likable now than before. I find myself growing fond of this Chin-Mu, and unwilling to see Qin Fengqing return. But the seal has already loosened once, and the celestial heavens are searching for him as well. If the seal shatters, if Chin-Mu becomes Qin Fengqing once more, I fear Udu itself will face calamity." Within Li City, dawn's light crept softly across the river. Chin-Mu awoke in a daze, his face damp. A small dragon lay sprawled across his cheek, happily licking at him. With a faint smile, Qin Mu pinched the creature's tail and lifted it up. The little dragon tilted its head, then nimbly climbed onto his arms, scurrying up to his shoulder before hanging lazily from his ear. Qin Mu fetched a pail of water and washed his face. The little dragon seized the opportunity, plunging its snout into the water, gulping down a mouthful before spraying it out playfully. Stepping out of the cabin, Qin Mu stretched his back, his bones cracking softly. He had slept aboard the ship through the night. Outside, Hu Linger, Ling Yuxiu, Si Yunxiang, and Sanghua were already awake, preparing breakfast. Upon seeing him, they greeted him warmly. A chest came clattering over, rubbing affectionately against Qin Mu's legs. With a creak, it opened, proudly displaying the bones it had gathered. Not far away, the dragon Qilin approached, biting onto a massive basin. Its tail wagged as it placed the basin at Qin Mu's feet. "Fatty dragon," Qin Mu said with a chuckle, tying on an apron as he stepped forward to help the girls cook. "Haven't you hidden a few furnaces of spirit pills in that chest?" "Let me handle this," he added with a smile, taking up the ladle. "Cult Master knows how to cook?" Sanghua asked, her eyes wide with surprise. "Of course," Si Yunxiang exclaimed excitedly. "Cult Master's cooking is superb. Back when Princess Xu and I were nearly forced by Grandpa Blind to marry him, it was Cult Master who prepared all our meals. I even became so addicted to his cooking that I truly considered marrying him." Ling Yuxiu's eyes sparkled. "I felt the same. I almost wished Grandpa Blind would force us again. Let's just wait for our coward to serve us a feast." Qin Mu laughed softly as he stirred the pot, his vital qi transforming into gentle flames. "Actually, Grandpa Mute cooks the finest dishes in our village. Grandpa Apothecary's medicinal cuisine is unparalleled. Grandpa Ma is a master of vegetarian fare. Granny C's cooking, well, no one dares to eat it. We never know what ingredients she uses. The others," he added, "are quite hopeless in the kitchen." Nearby, the dragon Qilin glanced at the chest, which happily displayed its collection of bones. The chest tossed 2 bones toward him. The dragon Qilin rummaged through it until he found hidden spirit pills. At that moment, the black tiger god strode over, his voice booming like thunder. "Fatty dragon, enough eating. Come train with me. Morning is the best time to temper the body." "You've taught me much," he continued. "So now I shall teach you. I'll help you shed that excess flab. Junior brother, I'll be borrowing your fatty." "Senior brother, please do," Qin Mu replied quickly. The dragon Qilin attempted to gulp down all the spirit pills in one bite, but before he could finish, the black tiger god grabbed his tail and dragged him away. "My bowl," the dragon Qilin wailed. "I haven't even licked it clean." "Little fox," the black tiger god shouted as he departed. "After breakfast, come train with me. We'll attack the enemy camp together." Hu Linger responded affirmatively, and soon the 2 figures disappeared into the distance. Qin Mu finished cooking, removed his apron, and sat down with the others. Hu Linger served porridge before joining them. The small dragon clinging to Qin Mu's ear stealthily reached out, snatched a piece of stir-fried clam meat, and retreated, hugging it as it ate contentedly. As they dined, conversation flowed. Ling Yuxiu and Si Yunxiang spoke of their time in Fengdu, where they had learned techniques and divine arts from gods and devils. However, those teachings were incomplete, requiring personal comprehension. "Still," Si Yunxiang said, "the inheritances of Supreme Emperor Heaven are complete. We've learned much during our time here." "With the Imperial Preceptor holding the front lines," she continued, "there won't be major battles for now. We can use this opportunity to learn from senior disciples and later exchange techniques with the devil race. Many disciples from our Heavenly Devil cult have already arrived. Sister Sanghua also wishes to study at Heavenly Saint Academy." Qin Mu pondered, then nodded. "We could establish a branch of Heavenly Saint Academy here. Invite renowned gods, devils, and Divine Bridge Realm experts to lecture. At the same time, people from Supreme Emperor Heaven can visit the academy. This way, both sides can exchange knowledge without disrupting the war." They continued eating and discussing plans. After finishing her meal, Hu Linger dashed off to train with the Black Tiger God and Dragon Qilin. Qin Mu and the others remained behind to wash dishes. When Yuhei boarded the ship, she was visibly startled to see Qin Mu scrubbing dishes. Hesitating, she spoke, "Cult Master? There are devil scouts lingering on the battlefield. I wish to lead Sanghua and the others in guerrilla warfare to confront them." Qin Mu nodded with a smile. Go ahead, I'll finish up here. Si Yunxiang immediately dragged Ling Yuqiu and Sang Hua away. From afar, Yu He whispered, Is it appropriate for the cult master to do such trivial tasks? Si Yunxiang smiled. Our heavenly saint cult has always been like this. We don't follow rigid rules. Yu He relaxed, her expression softening. No wonder cult master once said our heavenly saint cult walks the righteous path with distinction. Seeing him lead by example, I finally understand. Si Yunxiang blinked, momentarily speechless. After finishing the dishes, Qin Mu was once again approached by the chest, which opened to display its treasured bones. Qin Mu sighed, unsure whether to laugh or cry. Taking out several devil race spirit weapons, he placed them inside. You should collect these instead. I've slain many devil experts on this journey. The chest immediately threw the weapons out, choosing bones instead. Qin Mu shook his head helplessly. He then retrieved the true dragon's nest, plucked the small dragon from his ear, and smiled. Little Dao friend, you've been pestering me for this, haven't you? The little dragon's eyes gleamed brightly as it cried. Maha! Ma-ha! Qin Mu chuckled and entered the nest with it. Inside, the dragon flew wildly about, ecstatic. Qin Mu tossed the emperor's disc into the air. It transformed into the true dragon lord, merging seamlessly with the nest. Instantly, boundless dragon chi surged forth, and countless dragon script characters appeared. The little dragon darted through them, its cries shifting into profound dragon language as it comprehended the inscriptions. Its bloodline was pure, the son of the surging river dragon king. Over 20,000 years old, though frozen within a dragon bead until now. As its voice grew increasingly complex, Qin Mu listened carefully, gradually understanding more of the dragon language. Standing quietly, he circulated his vital chi, refining his grasp of the true dragon technique. Time passed. At last, the dragon descended, its body trembling as it transformed into a youth, handsome and dignified. He bowed deeply. Many thanks, Cult Master Qin, for granting me this opportunity to awaken my intelligence. Qin Mu returned the gesture. There's no need for thanks. What is your name, little Dao friend? My surname is Zhang, he replied. My given name is Miao. I am Zhang Miao. Though I have deciphered the nest once, my bloodline is still insufficient. Only a true divine dragon can fully unlock the complete technique. Qin Mu frowned. There are no divine dragons in Supreme Emperor Heaven. Where can we find one? There is one in the Great Ruins, Jiang Miao said. While traveling with Qin Yu, I heard its calls. Qin Mu's eyes lit up. Then we head to the Great Ruins. Within the shattered Paramita arc of the Great Ruins, massive land fragments floated within a grand seal. Suddenly, a thunderous roar echoed. A divine bridge pierced the void as Xing'an's primordial spirit crossed it, ascending toward celestial palaces beyond. I have succeeded, he roared, reclaiming his spirit and rising to his feet. You mute! Come out! You've obstructed me time and again. Now face your death. Death, 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 his voice echoed, but the mute had long since fled. Xing'an's face darkened as he strode forward. Suddenly, his body trembled. Within his life and death divine treasure, Lu Li's devil eye appeared once more, her sinister voice whispering, The one you seek possesses a life and death book once belonging to shaman god Kui. Find him. The eye vanished. Xing'an stood frozen, his expression stunned. Great physician Qin, he muttered hoarsely. So it was you. His heart churned violently. I trusted you again and again, never once suspecting that you would be even more deceitful than that mute. It's you. I will see what tricks you can play this time.